Hi Capricorn, welcome to your Should I Stay or Should I Go reading. Everything you need to know about the reading is in the description box below. That one. Give back. Awareness. This one came up a while ago too. Awareness. Okay. All right. Capricorn, October. Ace of Swords reversed is the bottom of the deck energy. So you might be feeling confused, you might be feeling cut off, or you might be feeling the need to cut somebody off. Justice, Six of Wands reversed. All right, Capricorn. Eight of Pentacles reversed and Page of Cups reversed. No, it's not. This is Five of Cups, sorry. All right, so not winning, not connected, not a victory, not in contact. This is Libra or accountability, the right thing being done. All right, for this relationship or for this situation, if you stay, there needs to be justice and accountability, and that has to do with owning up to the wrong thing being done. Something done that you don't want to come to light, or the other person doesn't want to come to light. Something about just being egotistical, like a fall from grace, like something you know your friends and your family would not be proud of you for. Okay, so let's see what this justice is about. Justice is about saying you're sorry. It shows up when there needs to be an apology. Okay. Okay, so we got the Queen of Wands, and then we got the Knight of Wands reversed. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. And those two. Well, I think, well, shoot. All right, I was going to do this one, so let's get her done. Okay, so we got the Two of Wands, the Five of Cups reversed, the King of Swords reversed, and the Star card. Weesh. Okay, so the Six of Wands doing something. Making plans because you're disappointed and upset. Wow, this could be Aquarius. All right, so look into the future. You're not upset anymore, but you're not talking to somebody. You're not being forthcoming because you need a renewal. So are you just going away? Is this you just slinking away, or is this your partner just slinking away after something was wrong? Instead of saying you're sorry, you're going to slink away? Because this, it seemed like this is kind of a good, this is a, Queen of Wands is pretty, okay, we got this. This just fell out when I asked that question. I'm just putting that right there. This is the Queen of Pentacles. This just fell out. You're planning to leave. This is you, Capricorn. This is you, Queen of Pentacles. And you're planning to leave. You want to be by yourself. Okay, so we got two aces reversed. Let me look that up. I think it means trickery. My memory serves. I think it means trickery. I think I might be finally memorizing these. No, it means enemies. Oof. Two aces reversed means enemies. Okay, so maybe that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with, that's why there's this cutoff. We got this right here to where I think this means that either the truth is not being told or you're having to operate in stealth. Somebody's operating in stealth, not being forthcoming with information for whatever reason. This seems like somebody is just done and they're walking away, but why? Why? Because we've got this Queen of Wands here who's a very exciting, inclusive energy, very passionate, innovative, can do it all, can be that wonderful mother and wife and businesswoman, and you know, and they like it. It's their wheelhouse. Did we not do right by her? And she's done. She's, whatever is going on here, this one needs to be saying I'm sorry, because she's like, I don't believe you anymore, or this person doesn't believe someone anymore. So what needs to change is the balance in the relationship. The balance in the relationship, the power in the relationship, there needs to be a reckoning with that. If you stay, this is what needs to change. Somebody in the relationship needs to give back because there's an imbalance of power. Somebody needs to say they're sorry and recognize all that they have done. I'm thinking it's whatever's going on here, because we've got somebody that stepped out on the relationship and who is being a right jerk. Or if that's not somebody that's being a jerk, it's somebody that is not being forthcoming, is not telling the truth, is not communicating. And we're making plans here because we're not disappointed, or no, we're making plans because we're not disappointed anymore. We're not telling anybody anything, and we want a fresh new start. And over here we've got the balance of power needs to be balanced. There needs to be an I'm sorry. There needs to be a reckoning as far as who's doing what in the relationship, because somebody, this queen, could be male or female, is feeling like they have nothing more to give. They're about done. This is almost as done as the Ten of Swords in this case right here. This is just being mistrustful and distrustful of everything. Why? Because there needs to be an I'm sorry and an acknowledgement of what somebody did to somebody in the relationship. Right now, as it stands, the advice is to cut it off and let go. The action to take is to block this is a blockage of creativity or emotions. This is no contact. This is not contact. This is a solitary queen. So Capricorn, I think this is saying you need a GTFO. Like, something's going on. I don't know who the villain is here, but somebody did something irreparable, because and it's almost like there's this real urgency for you in the need to get out of there. Okay, so if that's you needing to leave, which I think it is, there you go. Leave. Go ahead, because this is, until there's this reckoning, it's untenable to stay. And it might be that this is what I think it is. It's not somebody just withholding. It could be you being secretive and just bailing and needing to operate under stealth. It could also be somebody's an SOB and really doing you dirty in the relationship. All right. So, yeah, I think this is you, Capricorn, needing to leave. And I think you need to go and tell no one, because this is also the how to act position. And I think it's about you not involving any friends or family. I think this is you doing things in private. You need to make plans to leave because you're tired of being hurt. You need to not tell anybody. You need a new beginning. And this is you, solitary. This is a solitary queen. This is Capricorn that can take care of themselves and prefers to take care of themselves. Okay? All right. So we go over here to the if you go side. Now, if you go, there's going to be probably an awareness and an awakening. Well, this is awareness. An awakening of intuition. There's going to be all of this washing over you, this realization, right? Why? Because all of a sudden you don't have to worry about things not working anymore. And I think the purpose of the relationship, the function of it, and looking back in hindsight, is to realize when something's not working, get out. You don't have to make it work. Just because you can. These are both can-do Camerons here, these queens. If I'm reading for a male, it's the energy. Either way, this is someone that can and will take care of everything. And a lot of people, there's always that balance between the empath and the narcissist, the giver and the taker, that sort of thing. And this person can and will do everything, and that is very easily taken advantage of. So we've got two aces reversed here, which is, basically this right here, right? And then we've got this Eight of Pentacles. It's to recognize when that relationship isn't working. And I hunch is that there's a pattern that I want to see what the pattern is. Because this is really about when something's not working, when someone is not giving back to you what you contribute, you need to get gone. Self-preservation at some point. Because when it goes bad for the Capricorns that I'm reading for, when it goes bad for you, it really goes bad, and yet you still stay. Some of you are trapped. You can't leave because of, financial or whatnot. And that's entirely understandable. It's albeit unfortunate, right? If you have the opportunity, that might be why you're having to leave in stealth here, because you really can't, but you've got nowhere else to go and you have to leave. Self-preservation, I get it. But if in a perfect world, or if you could, and the relationship started to go bad, then that's when to leave, obviously. Not wait till it gets to this point where you're just like, because for some of you, I feel like this is for physical self-protection. Sorry, not pleasant, I know. Sometimes these take a turn, but it needs to get out there, be released. All right, this is still, okay, so this is saying that when these are both about completion, okay? This is the ending of a cycle, things finishing, completing, purpose being served. This is the completion of a home or happy home. This is for this is like a choice. Now that there's a happy home, you can either stay or you can go, right? I think at one point maybe you had one and then it got weird, or that's what your goal was, and it was kind of like a single-minded goal, and then you just, this is the end game right here. But when it's not working, when things have come to an end, the only way to get to that, even if it's solitary, even if it's by yourself, what did I do with that queen? Oh, here she is. Even if it's solitary by yourself, it's still, and this is preferred. This right here is preferred. If you want a happy home, you can do it by yourself. or with what you choose to populate it with: people, friends, family, things, home environment, everything. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to mean kids and grandparents and connected family in this community. It can be whatever you call home. Okay. And if for those of you like, oh my gosh, you talk so fast, I do. I always have. Sometimes brain moves faster than mouth, but also I'm trying to keep this under like another minute reading. Okay, all right. But what? Okay, so what I want to know here is what the pattern is, though, because there's a pattern. The pattern keeps coming up. What's the pattern for this Capricorn that keeps repeating, other than not getting out when it's good? And maybe it's thinking that to have it all, you need to have this relationship, and you don't. That can come later. You can have it all first, and then the relationship can come afterwards, Hold on a minute. What else? What else? This speaks to not doing things in moderation. This speaks to extremes. This speaks to rushing in and doing things first and then thinking about it later. So this could be like falling in love instantly, and then there's the fallout of that, or this doing first and thinking later. So that needs to change. Just saying. For the Capricorns that I'm reading for, that needs to change. Because you are so capable and you are such a worker, and you're not going to... I think that's where a lot of us find our security is in working and productivity. And we do first and think later. And then you realize, oh crap, I should have taken time to think about that. I shouldn't have reacted. I just got played, or now I'm trapped, or oh gosh, I should have thought more. Now I'm locked into this, that sort of thing. Okay. All right. Now how to let go is oh, that's always fun, right? Feel the pain, feel the burn. Yeah. Looking forward to that. Hold on a minute here. Feel the pain. How to let go? Well, you're going to be disappointed. Twofold. Okay, so how you let go. Okay, so there's disappointment, right? I think part of this is reacting first and handling or looking at things later. And part of reacting first is, oh gosh, everything is ruined. There tends to be, like I said, extremes. Everything is gone. Everything is ruined. But you still got some back here. Okay, not all is lost. Okay, so first is recognizing that not all is lost. Second is not wanting. No, it's not wanting. Second is, this is a hangman reverse. No more over-sacrificing. No more being the martyr. Okay, recognize that might be a pattern or part of this MO for you in a relationship, that you stay long past the time and to the point where you are over-sacrificing, and there's almost an expectancy of something in return because of the sacrifice. It will be lost on that person. So there's that. And then realizing this whole pattern issue right here, that is what's going to set you free. That it's almost a form of control. Just as this person might have been really controlling with, their bark being bigger than their bite, the whole martyr thing can be a control thing also, as far as, and I'm not accusing, I'm not saying, no, but it's inconceivable when we give so much that somebody wouldn't appreciate it. So we stay because it's like, well, this person has got to wake up and realize, hello, look at all that I'm doing. And that's what I'm talking about when I say martyrdom. It's just really hard to accept that somebody either doesn't love us or can't acknowledge our contribution and thus our worth, right? And so that's why we stay. And realizing that, I think coming full circle is what sets you free. And this has got to suck. I'm really sorry. You got two aces here, and it's like you're not appreciated, and yet you're a heck of a provider and a worker and you're like, when you're in a relationship, you're in it, and this person right here is not appreciating that, and so that's not. You don't have to stay there. That's not nice. I would like to say other things, but I want this to stay classy. Stay classy, San Diego. What's that movie, Ron Burgundy? All right, this is productivity, control, organization. This is part of it's having a muse. This is about control. Okay, for some of you, this might be a career that you put on hold, or that you're kind of, everything's on the back burner because you are managing this relationship. But once you're able to focus on it, look what's born here. Okay, we've got all these little parts. The sum is greater than the parts. Okay, so there's that aspect of it too. It could be that this relationship was very materially prosperous, and so what you put into it produced a lot, and that's why it might have been hard to leave, but you're still going to be just as secure, and you are going to be able to take care of yourself. This is also about the control, like I said, control in its purest form, and that whole wanting to stay, because when will you notice worth? That's a form of control too. Just saying. So I know this is kind of nebulous, but there's a theme of control here, and maybe it's because you were controlled, but just know that your worth is not tied to anyone or anything, and you can do by yourself. And my hunch is, honestly, you can do by yourself, that you're going to get the happy, and then a relationship will come. But you're going to establish the happy first, because you're not ever going to want to go back here and do this again. Because until this gets sorted, there's no room here. There's going to be a lot of awareness, a lot of awakening, a lot of this is definitely a heavy as far as realizing what you're going to realize, because you got the World card here, and that's about completion and everything coming together for this grand design. Maybe not realized yet until there's this introspection, there's this disappointment, there's this, till you feel it all. Okay, because right now you're going, and then you're fleeing, but there's no thought. It's just reaction, just doing. When you finally get that time to sit and have the things bubble up and the sadness and whatever, it's going to be the key to letting go and to realizing your patterns and letting go and not repeating. So sorry, another minute. This is your should or stay, Capricorn. This is your should I stay or should I go reading. And of course, the choice is always yours. I just hope that this shared some insight, made things a little clearer for you. You are quite the partner. Do not waste it on somebody that doesn't appreciate it. All right, take care.